There is a refuge for men of little faith. As the Lord told Paul, Acts 27:22, none of the 276 passengers on the ship perished despite their unbelief. Their faith didn't save them. They had none. Christ did. We were all born idolaters. Even the disciples are called men of little faith. See Matthew 14:31 and Luke 17 verse 6. Yet we live in a very dangerous world. Where will help come from? After escaping the storm, the passengers of the boat found themselves on an island called Malta, considered a refuge. However, rain and bitter cold awaited. Act 28 verse 2. The people of the island made a large fire to warm them. There was more than rain and cold to expect for Paul after the storm and the shipwreck. A snake came out of the bundle of stick he had gathered for the fire and attached itself to his arm. It is written, "And when the barbarians saw the venomous beast hang on his hand, they said among themselves, No doubt this man is a murderer, whom though he have escaped the sea, yet vengeance suffereth not to live. And he shook off the beast into the fire, and felt no harm. Howbeit, they looked when he should have swollen or fallen down dead suddenly. But after they had looked a great while, and saw no harm come to him, they changed their minds, and said that he was a god." Act 28, verse 4 to 6. Two things caught my attention: the danger that followed Paul everywhere, and the idolatry of the islanders. First, the constant danger illustrated by the violent storm, the destruction of the ship, the rain, cold, and the snake. I realized that the island and the sea were a picture of our world, where we are surrounded by a sea of trouble. The freezing cold, the rain, and the snake make the island a false hope for security, which is a picture of the false refuge man gives himself on earth. Some argue that the snake didn't bite Paul, while others find it impossible for a viper to have wrapped itself around his arm without biting him. One thing is certain: Paul was attacked by a snake on this quote-unquote refuge island. The snake was so subtle that Paul didn't realize it was hiding in the bundle of sticks he had gathered. Isn't this an image of the devil, the real serpent's cunning? Second, the idolaters on the island. When they saw that nothing was happening to Paul, they changed their minds. Yet, instead of giving glory to his God for the miracle they had just witnessed, they idolized Paul, saying he had triumphed over the snake because he was a god. In fact, Paul overcame because of Christ's blood. See Revelation 12, verse 11. Christ is God's safe haven for sinners who acknowledge that they are of little faith and cry out to him for help. See Mark 9:24. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. Psalm 121, verse 1 to 2. By throwing the snake into the fire, Paul illustrated what Christ will do to the serpent and all those who serve him through their idols. Matthew 25:41. Come to Christ.